What's going on, everybody? It's Faustin with you once again, and once again, we're here with another episode of Borderless Gaming. This is episode number 43. Can you believe it? 43 episodes in so far. I never dreamed that we would make it this far, to be honest with you. I don't know if Geek's coming today or not. Haven't spoken to him, but I did send him an invite, the invite and everything. So if he does, cool. If not, that's understandable too. Um, Apologize, I haven't shaved or anything. A lot going on in my mind, and that's where the title of today's episode comes in. I have questions. I have questions for you guys, and see if you can help me out because I think I need some help. But before we do that, today, Jay lost today in gaming history 35 years ago. Right? Think about it. 35 years ago. How many of you guys are even 35 years old? The game Contra released, and I remember Hori. You all may know Hori. He pops in the show um, fairly often, and also he's most likely the person you'll see me playing co-op with. When we were kids, when I say kids, I mean teenagers, um, just before that driving age or what have you. We spent so much time on Contra doing that whole couch co-op thing, side scroller. It was, and those were some really good times. They were really good times, to be honest with you. But yeah, 35 years ago, um, Contra. It's hard to believe. It really is. I did want to get to a bit of news. Um, and I was hoping that hey, Andrea, glad you could make it. I see you have the new name up, the Mitchell Clan. That's cool. Um, Thanks for hanging out with us today. Man, a name just popped up on my saying that they were playing on Steam, and a friend of mine died from COVID this week, and it was his nephew that just popped up playing, and so messed up. Yeah, so messed up. Um, Horizon Forbidden West released this week. I'm sorry it took me a minute to catch up in my own mind. Horizon Forbidden West released this week, and it got excellent reviews. Right, no denying it got like an what was it, like an 89 Metacritic score. For those of you that need that validation, which is by no means in any way a slouch or a bad. It's an excellent score. Hey, Keisha, welcome to the show. I'm glad you could make it. Happy Sunday to you. Um, but people are really upset by the score because they feel like it should have gotten a better score, maybe even a perfect score. Um, I don't know how that happens. I've never played a perfect game in my entire life, and I played Contra for like 35 years. So, um, what's going on, Angry Bro? How are you doing today? I don't know if you're about to race or if you've already raced, but either way, I hope it goes well or went well for you. Um, Glad to see you could pop into the stream, though. Really appreciate it. But yeah, it got an 89 Metacritic score out of 100. So 89 out of 100. And people were upset that it didn't get score better. Now, and this is the question that I have for everyone. right? What's going on, Shadow? Glad you could make it, bro. Good to see you for sure. Happy Sunday to you. Uh, so here's my question: are you happy being a gamer? Like, does gaming make you happy? And as such, do you want other people to be happy just just being able to play games, or do you only want people to be happy if they're playing the okay, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Understood. Or do you only want people to be happy if they're playing on the same platform that you play on, or if they're playing the same games that you play, or what have you? And the way this relates to the Metacritic score or to um, Forbidden West is, like I said, people are mad that it didn't get a better Metacritic score. 89 is very high. Normally, people would be ecstatic about that, but because other games got higher, um, people are upset that this didn't score higher. The thing is, if you are a Metacritic person, if you subscribe to that whole way of deciding if you're going to play a game or if a game is good or worth your money or whatever, um, and just for the sake of clarity, I am not one of those people. Most of the times, a game can get a really low Metacritic score. I'll try it and enjoy it because I enjoy games. Like, I don't enjoy all games, but the games that I enjoy, and I don't enjoy them because other people do. I just enjoy them because they appeal to me. But I've noticed. Let me give you an example. A while ago, not too long ago, but sometime last year, I was at a birthday party, and it was at a venue where people go to have birthday parties, right? So there were other parties going on outside of this birthday party that I was at personally. And little kid is upset, right? Crying because his parents got him for his birthday an Xbox Series S, Series S, right? And so a little bit about me, I'm not the type of person that likes interfering in people's lives, but Hori will tell you children and dogs love me, right? And I love children and dogs, and I hate seeing kids upset. Or so I tend to intervene if a child is upset or worse or something. But he was upset, and they were behind me, and I could hear the conversation of what he was upset about. And so I turned to offer my help, and I was like, I asked his parents if they minded if I talked to him. I told them that I was a gamer. I was actually wearing my hat, and they were like, "Sure, if you think you could help, that will be appreciated." So I asked him what he was upset about, and he said he wanted a PS5, right? And I was like, I can understand that. I guess when I was a little kid, I wanted a backgammon set, right? That was the thing that adults did when I was a kid where I lived. They played backgammon, and there was a certain type of set that the whole game was contained in like this suitcase looking thing, and to me that just meant you were old enough to play that game. And so my parents got me a backgammon set, but it was one of those cheap ones that was piece of cardboard that folded in half, and on one side was a backgammon set, and on the other side was a backgammon board, and on the other side, if you flipped it over, was a checkers and chess layout board. And I was really upset because that's not what I wanted, right? It was what I wanted, but it wasn't what I wanted. And I won't go in deeper into that because it got really bad. But so I say to the kid that I understand what he's going through. But I was like, but why a PS5? Why not a Xbox Series S or X or even a Nintendo? Why'd you choose the PlayStation? And he told me it was because it was the best. And I was like, so all your friends don't have it? And he said, no, no. He only knew a couple people that had games and they were old or consoles and they were older consoles, and mostly Xboxes. And I was like, well, if all your friends are playing on Xboxes, wouldn't you want to play on a machine that um, you can play with your friends on? And he said, no, I want the best. And I was like, okay, so what makes the the PlayStation 5 the best gaming console right now in your mind? And he told me that all the YouTubers say that. And I was like, so you believe that because everybody is saying that or a lot of people are saying that PlayStation is the best, you believe it's the best? He tells me, yes, of course. I was like, I can understand that. You're young, but do you like playing video games? I asked him, and he said, yeah, he loves playing video games. And I think, and I never really got into this, but I think that's why his parents got him a Series S, is because um, he had an Xbox One in the past. I don't know which one, but one of them. And so that's just what they knew, right? And that's pretty understandable. And so I was like, wouldn't you want to play where your friends are playing? And he's like telling me that he wanted the best. And he told me that, influencers, that's where he got it, that the PlayStation was the best. I was like, okay, that's cool. And I was like, so with the PlayStation, how many games do you think you would get in a year, right? And he doesn't have an answer for this, of course. And it was actually kind of a dumb question for me to ask him, but luckily he looked towards his parents, and his parents were able to answer maybe two or three, right? And he could probably save up. He will probably be able to save up for one other game with his allowance or whatever over the course of a year. So three, maybe four games. So gift giving, holidays, stuff like that, and using his allowance. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Let's see if I can control it. Okay, I'm good. Sorry about that. Um, but so I asked his parents. I was like, "Do you have does does he have Game Pass?" And they were like, "No, I don't know what Game Pass is." They didn't know what Game Pass it was. He didn't know what Game Pass was. And I told him, Game Pass is a service on the Xbox that if you just got it for the Xbox, what's going on, J-Law? Glad you could make it to this show. Um, yeah. So I told him, Game Pass is a service for $10 a month. Uh, you have this library of games that you can play on the Xbox, right? And actually, this story is going way off the rails, right? None of that really matters. The thing that matters is there are adults, right, that are fighting this console war, right? And it doesn't matter what side of it you fall on if you're doing it. It's the reason I was telling this story is that it hurt this child, right? It made this child's birthday less than because he didn't get what he thought he wanted because somebody like me or somebody on Twitter. And he mentioned YouTube specifically. I don't know if he uses Twitter or not. He kind of seemed too young for that, or at least if I had a child, that would have been too young. Um, Told him that PlayStation was the best thing to do for him, but his friends don't have PlayStations, so he would have been alone, right? And I guess if you're gonna be alone gaming, PlayStation is the place to be for that for sure because they have PlayStation has those games that are like movies, right? Like if you ever wanted to control the character in a movie, PlayStation first party titles are definitely that, and they're like movie quality production, and you feel like you're playing a movie. But as a kid, I could see where, or I would imagine that he would want to play with his friends, and he would want as many games as he could get over the course of a year as possible. And so, but he was so caught up in what people were saying that are fighting adults, what adults are saying, fighting this fake war, that it ruined his birthday because he didn't get what he believed that he wanted. And so my question is that the type of gamer are, that we all want to be? That as adults, we're hurting kids because we don't like something else. And again, that falls back to the original thing with the whole Forbidden West thing. It got an excellent score. It got a score that every other game out there that being criticized or whatever or reviewed or whatever would want. An 89 is up there around the best that you can get. Like I don't think I've ever seen anything above a 94, and in general the the better scores are 89, 90, and people are upset that it got an 89 just because another game got a 90 or better. And but it's all a matter of opinion, right? So a lot of people love the game, reported that they love the game, and then a few people reported that they didn't love it, but it's all a matter of opinion, right? You I am not a fan of Destiny. I know a bunch of you are, right? Not but I have nothing bad to say about it. It's just not a game that I enjoy. It's it when they first announced it and we went through all the alpha testing and everything, it was a completely game that than what released. Now, what released is an excellent game. I cannot deny that, and I don't dare to try to deny that. You know what I mean? Like people love that game. If they didn't, it wouldn't be coming up on a new DLC and expecting them to make millions more dollars above what it already has, right? But it doesn't suit me. That's not a problem, right? That never should be a problem. And if anybody asks me about it, me personally, I'm like, it's not for me, but that doesn't mean it's not for you. It's a great game. A lot of people love it. You should That's something you need to decide for yourself, and that's with every game, right? That's something that you need to decide for yourself. Well, a few people decided for themselves that, Forbidden West wasn't for them, and because they did it on a website, it brought us the score down a little bit, and now everybody's upset, saying that they're fake this, they're fake that, oh, they work for this company or they love that company or whatever, and all it really is a matter of what you like, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. The So Halo Infinite scored better than for Verizon Forbidden West. Or excuse me, Verizon. What? Anyways, Horizon with an H, Forbidden West. But why would that be? The vast majority of people like playing competitive shooters. That's the type of game of a lot of people like to play, right? And not saying that a lot of people don't like third person action adventure story driven games, but just more people like shooters, particularly like first person shooters or whatever, right? So the game got a little bit higher of a score, and because it's on Xbox and because people don't certain numbers of people don't like, and people are upset. Just try the game. If you think you're gonna like it, try it. Um, yeah, there's an inherent risk that if you get it, if you get Horizon and you don't like it, then that's a wasted $70. Like you paid a lot of money for a game that you don't like. But that's the risk that we've always taken, right? Until lately, if you're on the Xbox, that's the risk, and you have Game Pass, that's the risk that you've always taken. You buy a game, you may or may not like it, but that's the risk, a risk that we were all willing to take, and nothing about that has changed, especially on the PlayStation side, right? And that's not a bad. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not calling PlayStation out on anything, right? PlayStation is doing great things right now, and but it seeing that whole thing and that the argument about you know it didn't get the score that it deserved. I don't know what score it deserved. I have a lovely wife who's an accountant and who runs the financials of the household and says this is the entertainment budget for a month. Stay within that and we can live comfortably, and she's beautiful and wonderful and I love her, and I love her for doing that because it keeps us happy. Um so right now it's outside of the budget, but I'm not gonna speak on how good or bad that game is if I haven't played it, but what I can tell you about that game is a lot of people liked it, a few people didn't. It got they all voiced their opinion on a website, Metacritic, and it got scored based on those opinions. But they are only other people's opinions. Again, I am not a big Destiny fan, but that is just me. That does not make the game bad. I don't like chocolate, but that's just me. That does not make chocolate bad, right? But to be out here, it's bugging me to death that we're out here as adults fighting this pretend console war, and the people that are getting hurt aren't the people that you're even really trying to hurt. It's little kids that don't know any better, right? If you're an adult, and I will never in my life be able to convince J Law to buy an Xbox, right? And it could be that if Sony went out of business today, he would never play another video. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm saying it could be the case. We've never discussed it, but that it could be the case that he would never play another video game again in his life, and that's his choice, and that choice is right for him. And I cannot, as much as we tease one another about these things in private, that's all it is just it's just ribbing, right? But there are people out there, and I gotta hope that they don't know what they're doing, right? That they don't see the effects that it has on kids, right? Because if you're doing that and you know that you're hurting little kids who don't know any better, yeah, I'm just curious, what kind of gamers are we these days? When I was young, in my teens, you know, it was a matter of getting gifts during the giving season or gift giving holidays, birthdays, Christmas, whatever. Um, and so I could get a console and for Christmas, and then the next year I could get another console, and that's the way I went, and I went with it. And the closest thing we had back then was Blockbuster, right? I could rent games from Blockbuster, and so I did that a lot with my allowance. And my friends got other consoles because we knew we could just go to the other one's house or take our consoles to somebody else's house and share, play, and experience all these different games. And I guess maybe that's what made me me, what makes me me as far as gaming goes, because I always got to experience other consoles by visiting other friends. And then every year I could get a console depending on, what was out or what have you, and I didn't have. Um, but man, just seeing how upset people are over a wonderful score. Like, you wanted a great score and you got it, but it wasn't good enough, and now you're so upset. And I don't understand why. J Law says he disagrees. Word of mouth sells products, and bad experiences creates the market. And as far as hurting kids, they get what I buy for them. Trust me, they'll be happy. No, no, they may pretend to be happy, bro. Like honestly, but like I said, I when I was a kid, I wanted one thing, and I got that thing in a form that I didn't want it, and I wasn't happy. Right now, I got in trouble for that. I got in a lot of trouble for not being happy, but I wasn't happy. Now my parents tried to force me to be happy, right? And it's not that I wasn't even appreciative. I appreciated it, but I wasn't happy, like, and I was a little kid, I was like 6 years old. I had an emotional reaction. This kid, I don't know how old he was, but he had an emotional reaction to not getting what he believed he wanted. And, you know, I'm cool with word of mouth. You believe PlayStation is the best thing since sliced bread? Cool, that's great. Um, but if you're looking at it in today's standards, right? And let's everybody remember, I have a PlayStation. I play my PlayStation. I was actually carrying J Law in PUBG the other day on the PlayStation 5, right? Um, but you know, kids don't know what they and so and right there's a problem. Like if I'm out here pushing an agenda, right? I'm trying to I'm not even trying to sell a product. I'm trying to hurt anybody that doesn't agree with me. And that's the thing, right? If I'm fighting this war, I'm not fighting because I you know what, never mind, because I can't speak for other people. It just seems to me that they're not fighting because so much because they love PlayStation is more that they hate Xbox or that they love Xbox. Because I mean, like, if you and I really got to stop doing this, right? I'm not really a Twitter person, but my mistake is I heard about all this Metacritic's shenanigans, and I wanted to see what was up, and I started looking at Twitter, and it's just crazy. Like, these people play on Twitter more than they play video games, right? They spend, like, I watched for a day, and there were the same names popping up, just bad, not saying anything good about their console of choice, only saying bad stuff about the consoles that they don't like. If you're promoting your console of choice, then why aren't you telling me the good about it? Why are you only telling me the bad about something else? That's what I hate about politics, right? When it comes around time to vote, politicians don't try to sell you on what they're going to do for you, what good they're going to do for you. They try to sell you on what bad the other politician is going to do, right? And that has, and maybe I'm an outlier. So maybe that's it. And I guess if that's the case, I just need to accept it, and that answers my question. But I don't care what you tell me that that other person is going to do wrong. I want to know what you're going to do right by me and by my family and by my friends and by my community, right? Not what that other person is going to do wrong. You're not selling. All you're going to do is make me look into that person to try and figure out why they're going to do all these wrong things, and then I'm just going to find out that that's not the case. That all you're doing is lying to me, right? Right? So, like, if and maybe, yeah, maybe that's just it. Maybe I'm the outlier, right? Maybe I'm the person that's not in the mainstream, and that's the answer to my question. And maybe I need to reevaluate myself and what I think in all this stuff. Um, I'm happy to be able to say that at the end of the conversation with the kid and his parents, I was able to show the kid that, hey, this is where your friends are, so this is where you want to be. And his parents were like, well, we could swing $10 a month for Game Pass for you to have hundreds of games, and that's cool. And had it been vice versa, I would have pushed just as hard for the PlayStation if that would have made him happy, because for one thing, during a kid's birthday, they should be happy. And not saying that that can always happen. And I get what you're saying on that, right, Jay? You know, sometimes you have to, all the times, I guess, you have to live within inside the lines, right? And kids like to, as it were, color outside the lines all the time. And so I get that. But in this case, you know, um, it wasn't that it was misinformation, and that misinformation hurt a child, and that sucks. And people are upset right now over a great score. Like, in an analogy, people are mad that their team won, but they're mad because their team didn't score one more point, one extra point, right? They won. They did everything that they needed to do. They won, and you're mad because they scored 9 instead of 10 points, or however you want to fit the points to any game that you want to correlate that to. And um, man, yeah. So I have a question. Sorry, guys. I did not mean to go on like that. It's bothering. A lot of things are bothering me, to be honest with you. Let me just. A lot of things are going on in my life, and they're bothering me. You know, as much as I want to talk about them, this is a gaming channel, and most of them have nothing to do with gaming. So I'm not gonna bore you with that. But um, not that I haven't already bored you with all of this. So questions: has anybody played Forbidden West, and what do you think about it? Has anybody played? There is a game I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. It's a new game. Trying to see if I can find anybody playing it on Discord. Lost Ark. That's what it is. Has anybody played Lost Ark? And if so, can you tell me about it? Because apparently this is a really great game, but I've heard zero about it, right? Like nobody's talking about it, and not in a bad way. It seems like nobody's talking about it because they're all too busy playing it, right? Which is a great thing. That's the way it should be, right? But I'm curious about the game. I heard it's free to play or whatever. Dying Light. Okay, so okay, Jay, did you get it? Did you get it? You've been talking about it for days, maybe a week now. Did you get it? I can tell you, Hori loves it. I find it fun, but I feel stuck in a place where I am right now because I don't really know the game too well, and it's a matter of if I move from where I am right now, then I'm gonna die, and I don't want to die. Sorry about that. Um, so what it is if you don't know, in Dying Light 2 at least, it's a zombie game, and you as a player, you're infected, but and on you're infected and on the verge of turning into a zombie, but ultraviolet light can stave that off. So during the day, you're fine. You can be out running around, fighting the little bit of zombies that are out there or what have you, and completing missions. But at night, you have to find ultraviolet lights throughout the world or whatever to be in them, or take injections, find injections and take those to stave off becoming a zombie, right? And so me, I have no injections, and where I am in the game right now, and this could just be, and this isn't a bad thing. It's actually kind of funny. I just haven't figured out what I need to do yet. Um, but where I am in the game is it's dark, right? I'm very weak because I've been hurt by zombies during the day, fighting them off during the day, trying to complete missions. But when it comes, and now it's dark, I found a place that has ultraviolet light. But if I leave, I'm gonna turn into a zombie in like literally 10 to 12 seconds, right? That's how much time I have on me to turn into a zombie if I leave. So as far as I can tell, there may be other mechanics. Again, I'm very new to the game, so there may be other mechanics. But as far as I can tell, I have to wait until it's daylight to be able to go out and do stuff, and like especially go to a shop and get what I need to be able to survive through the night or whatever, or scavenge for that. But right now it's dark and I'm bored. As a person, I'm bored waiting for it to turn light. And so I guess I could just probably, and this is probably what I should do. I could probably just leave the game running and do stuff in real life while the night concludes. and I think that's what I'm gonna have to do, but it's kind of outside of what I like to do as far as gaming goes. Yeah, I remember I game in a very weird way. So, but, like, so I get on and, like, I'm sitting there for a couple minutes, and I'm like, "I'm just gonna turn the game off and go play something else or something." So, it's not I'm not allowing myself to progress, and it's me. It's all me for sure. But, it's a fun game. The movement and the mechanics of, like, like, you're this parkour guy type of thing, and so the climbing and traversing, just the whole traversal system is really fun. Um, the combat mechanics of fighting zombies and everything, that's really fun as well, and the story where I am, and so I'm in the very beginning, so hopefully you don't feel like this is a spoiler, and I haven't completed it yet, so I can't even really tell you. I don't think I can really spoil it for you, but where I am is, so a guy so some people 2 people got some water off of a guy, right? And it's being said that he sold them the water, but he's saying that he doesn't sell water, right? That and I guess he just gave them the water or they took the water from him or something, but the water was poisoned. And so I have to go out and clear this guy's name by talking to the person that he got the water from, right? And I was able to talk to that guy, and he sent me to do something else, and then it got dark, and well, he sent me to go do something else, and then I got my butt kicked by some zombies, right? But I was able to escape, but then it got dark, and now I can't go anywhere without dying. And I might just it might just be a thing where I have to bite the bullet and die, but I don't want to do that, right? Like I'm really opposed to doing that for some reason. But it's a fun game. It's it has co-op, but for whatever reason on the Xbox, and I don't know if this is the same for the PlayStation, but for whatever reason on the Xbox, certain people can't play it in co-op. And the only person that I know that plays it is Hori, and he is one of the people. I may be one of the people, but because I'm only trying to I've only ever tried to connect to him. I don't know, but for sure it's on his end. Well, I guess it could be. One of us or both of us maybe can't play it in co-op because of something wrong with the game. So I don't know if it's that way on the PlayStation or not. I haven't seen any reports in that vein, but I haven't really been out looking for them either. So yeah, but it's fun, and I could see it being really fun as a co-op game for sure. Like I think it would be really fun. Um, but we'll we'll have to see. Um, yeah. So another question for you guys. I'm not sure how this is all going, right? And so part of me thinks I should just game on the channel, right? Like this whole conversation today is was kind of easy because it's something that's really plaguing me. That's really on my mind and really plaguing me. So it's kind of easy for me to talk about, right? But in general, I'm not a talkative person. Um, I can hold a conversation if somebody's holding a conversation with me, but to just talk is a real struggle for me. So I'm thinking about and then like so today, again, Geek's not here. I'm not sure what happened. I'm sure he's busy or whatever, and just didn't have a chance to get back to me on what's going on. But what do you think about that? Like, what would you guys think about not like if I did a recording of like news as it happens, right? So uh this company bought this company. I do a quick recording of it during the week and post it, 5-10 minute video or something. And then maybe on Sundays we could talk about that live, or maybe just, but in general, just being a gaming channel where I play games, right? And you guys could come play games with me if you wanted to, or not, or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out where to go with this. And this just may be a symptom of the things that are going on in my real life, that I have a tendency, when I believe things are going bad in one part of my life, to just back away from everything. I can't really believe I just said that. um, but it's the truth, right? So, yeah, Jay, PUBG, and we could record sessions of PUBG, and everybody can see how I carry you in that game. Um, Let me know what you think. I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm going in circles, and going in circles just makes me dizzy, right? So, you guys let me know. Let me know what you think. And I'm going to end the show there because I think this was way off of what the show was supposed to be about. But there's some confusion. J Law says, laugh out loud. Yeah, right. Um, you know, the one time he got a chicken dinner was because of me. And then last night or the night before, I can't remember, I almost got us another one, but uh, got caught out by the storm. But anyways, it was a good time though. And if any of you guys play PUBG on anything, I guess, because it's cross-platform, so let us know. J Law is definitely looking to play with more people, and that would be fun, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm gonna call it, guys. I apologize for this whole show, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, I let my emotions get into this one, and that should never be the case. So my bad. I'll probably just kill it. Um, but yeah, if you care to do so, let me know in the comments what what you think I should do, or what you think you might like to see come out of the channel. Should I just kill the channel? I don't know. Um, but yeah, till next time. This has been Fauci. You know me. I'm Ghost. Two fingers is peace. Later. Oops.